Hi everyone, welcome back again. Remember, I tell you guys I'm gonna look out for the next video. This is the next video, right? Um, it's true praying also from today that I was praying, and this one was what I got after that, right? And I asked him, I say, I was just praying matter of fact, and when I was praying, I got taken up in the spirit, and I was seeing certain things. It's like he took me with a little walk with him, right? He took me on a little walk. Listen, you guys, I don't know. I just felt like the Lord just come and he was just like he was just my friend today. He was just my buddy. Oh my God, you guys, I can't even tell you. David said, "Taste and see the goodness of the Lord," and you really need to taste and really need to know who God is, right? So today he took me for a walk with him, right? I was singing this song like I tell you guys in the previous video. If you don't know the song, go and check out the song, right? It's Refine is the name of it. I don't know who is the artist. I think it's Elevation, but go and check it out, right? Type it in, right? And I was just singing that song, right? Um, anyway, so me now I was there. He took me up in his spirit and he was showing me, you guys, this message is so powerful. So it's the first time this ever happened to me, you know. He was showing me first he showed me is like we touched down, right? We touched down in right after when he came off the boat. You guys who don't know this, go and read it. Right after he came off the boat with when he was on his journey. Remember when he went out on the boat and he stopped up by an island and he saw the man that had legions, demons upon him. He took me there, you guys, and it's like he had me to I'm sorry, yeah? He had me to speak to these individuals. He had me to speak to these individuals. I'm sorry, you guys, but I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. I wish you could see what I saw. He had me in the spiritual realm to speak to them. And when they stepped off the boat, he said, first and foremost, Francine, he said, in order for you to even try to take off demons from someone, he said, you know the reason why when other people, the three sons of whoever it is, I forget the name, but it's in Corinthians, I believe. This was with Paul, and they tried to cast out demons, and it did not work. And remember when Jesus Christ's disciples tried to cast out that demon from a boy, and it did not work, and he said, this one come out not just by through prayer and fasting, right? And the Lord said, do you know the reason why? Before I even began to talk to the man in the spiritual realm, right? He said, do you know the reason why not any, I didn't send any of my disciples, but I come personally to take out this one. And he said, Francine, because first, these is legions that is upon this man. That means there is different kinds of demons. There's a demon, there's a spirit of jealousy, there's a spirit of envy, there is backbiting, there's different demons, right? And he said, you cannot come and cast out something unless you have fight against it and win it. You cannot come and try to fight again, try to cast out something unless you fight against it and win it. So he said, because his disciples didn't fight against all of these legions, because it was a legion, if a whole herd of swine it flew into, you can imagine how much. And he just now told me, he said, the reason why I could have been able to do it, where we know he's a God in flesh and he's powerful and he's a word and everything, right? But he said, do you know the reason why he could have been able to do it? He said, before God even put him there, he was done already sanctified, clean enough to be able to, when he stepped down, he ain't need no more cleaning. He don't need to go and deal with his emotions. He don't need to go and deal with this. He don't need to go and put death to self. He don't need to go and, like some of us, he don't need to go through a purification process because he had already been purified enough. He had already fight against these demons. So when he come now, he did not come up against them to fight against them because he had already won the fight before God even put him in the earth realm. He had already won the fight against these demons. So when he come down, he did not need to say, okay, I'm going to go and fight against them or whatever it is. He already, you understand what I'm saying? He already won the fight against these demons. So when he come down, he was just coming down now. When he stepped off the boat, he stepped off in authority over them. It's like back then. I'm breaking this down real good for you all. Back then, they used to, when you kill a king and you take out a kingdom, you get the crown of that kingdom and you're now able to rule over that kingdom or whatever. He say it's like that. The Lord had already ruled. He had already, oh God, Jesus Christ done win the victory. He done already win the victory. That means when he gives some of us, he gives some of us he gives some of us and he tells us his word and said, oh, you're going to win in the end, and I want you to do this because regardless of what happened, you still going to win. No weapon formed against you still ain't going to prosper. When he say these things, he's not guessing it. He's telling you what what he has already done. We are the victor as long as we are connected to him, because he done already. This is why when he died upon the cross, he said, it is accomplished. He done already do everything. He done already fix every eye. He done already dot every T. He done already do everything. So when he stepped off the boat, he wasn't stepping off and still was to go and purify himself and still have to do this and wherever it is. He stepped off in authority over them, that I am done already in control of you. I done already defeat you all the you guys, I done already defeat you. So when he stepped off, it wasn't a matter of, okay, I need to fight against them and I need to go and purify myself like some of he done already do that. So when he stepped off, he was just stepping off in authority. This is why they kneel before him, because he, oh God, this is why they kneel before him, because he done already was in authority over them. He done take the kingdom. He done take the kingdom of darkness, you guys. He done defeat these demons already. So you who crying over these things, you're connected to the one who done already defeated. It done already happened. It done already happened, says the living God. Whoo. So when he stepped off the boat, he stepped out. And you guys, when he stepped off, he told me this. He said, the reason why is because you need to purify yourself in order for you to take all of this. So sometimes the Lord sends us through some stuff because he's cleaning us, so that he's causing us to fight against the spirit of jealousy, envy, all these different kind of things, so that we now can take the crown, so that when there's legions coming up against us, we can know how to stand up in authority and watch legions bow down to one. Did you get that? Watch legions bow down to one. So in the spirit, when I was praying, you guys, and in the spirit, he began to tell me this, and after he told me this, he caused me to meet, I told you guys today, I'm not joking today. He caused me to meet this man, and the first thing that I got, he caused me to enter into the man's position. And he said, this man here, Francine, oh God, was one that everyone had turned their backs upon. This one here was one that they turned their backs on, and he began to put me in the man position, and he said, I was despised. It's like the man started to talk to me now in the spiritual realm, and he said, I was despised. I was despised. I was rejected. They cast me aside, and I even cast me aside and say, I will only be something. He said the reason why I was in the barren ground, because that was the place I thought I was going to die. So when I die, I'm already where I'm supposed to be. He said I was rejected and despised. I was something that was left for dead. There was no helping for me. It's like when everyone give up on you, man and woman of God, in your circumstances, maybe drug addiction or whatever it is, and they said there's no helping for you, that you're going to die in that state. But he said, oh, even though he was despised, the man, he said, oh, I used to drop, and deep down in my spirit, I used to cry out to the Lord and ask him for help, even though I was despised and everyone else see me as something that, there's no help for me, there's no coming back for me. And there's some of you all that is going through some stuff, and oh God, society and everyone, family, friends has already give up upon you and said there's no help for you, you ain't coming back. But the Lord say, when Jesus Christ stepped in, and he had me to understand, he said, Francine, this was a man talking to me, he said, when I saw he came and he dropped. He said, oh, listen, I never knew that I was beautiful. I never knew that I was this. He said it was like he was dropping off chains off of me, and he told me that I'm no longer something that is disgusted. He changed his mind, man's mind. Say, yeah, you got he changes mind's mind setting from something that he said the man began to even believe that he was everything that they say about him, that he was of, oh God, that he was of no use, that he's just good to die or wherever it is. He will never change. These things will never come off of him, like so many of you all that have gone through people tongue lashing you like that. And he had me to understand. He said, listen, he said, oh God, the man began to speak to me now, and he said, oh, I started to even believe in everything. I started to say, there's no hope for me. But he said, when Christ Jesus stepped off of the boat, I began to, oh God, and I was freed. He said, I began to see, oh God, it's like someone will pick you up and wash you off. He said, oh, I looked down upon my hands and my foot, and something that was broken, and I was beaten, and I was rejected, left for dead, became something worthy again, became something beautiful again. I never knew that I could come back like this. Something that was beaten, I was rejected, that was despised. I met someone that washed me off and told me that I'm his own, that I'm wonderfully created, that I'm loved. And the man began to speak to me. Christ was there with me, and the man began to speak to me, and he said, this is why I ran out into the village after Jesus Christ left. And he became the first preacher on that island. He said, because ain't no one could have shut me up. When someone did something for me, he said he ran his mouth, he ran onto the island, and he began to show them. I met a man that told me, that tell me, that show me of all of who I am. He picked me up, me who was left for dead. And what you can there, excuse me, you guys, but when I feel in the presence of the Lord, that you will always hear my tongues chipping every now and then, right? My tongues, I'm not chipping. My tongues chipping every now and then, right? And who don't know it, go and check it out. Like I used to always say, it's in the Bible, they were speaking unknown tongues, right? This is in the Bible. When the Holy Spirit is upon you, this is what will happen, right? And he said, ain't no one could have shut me up and tell me not to praise the Lord after he did this to me. He said he was the first preacher. And the Lord began to tell me this. After I spoke to him, I spoke to about 3 others, the blind man, and the leopard, right? And he began to tell me this, and he said, Francine, he said, these are the ones that I'm looking for. He said, remember when he had made the banquet? When he had made the banquet, and who don't know it, go and check it out. It was the parable of the kingdom that he called all of his own, and he told them to come to the banquet that he had prepared. And they have excuse that they have this and that to do, right? And he went out in the byways and the highways and began now to call the lame, the deaf, and the dumb, and all these individuals. And he began to tell me, and he said, Francine, I adopted these ones here, and these are the ones that I'm looking for, because he said their gratefulness, he said my own, my Jewish own, who I call my own, was ungrateful because they feel entitled to having all of what that Abraham is our forefather, we going to gain the kingdom. So they were ungrateful. They didn't matter because we're going to have it anyway. They were ungrateful. But he said he found the greatest level of gratefulness inside of these individuals, these broken individuals that he picked up and that he washed off. And that he said, oh no, he said, oh God, he find a certain level of gratefulness in them that he can use that So it's not, oh God, I'm a redeemer. Don't let anyone tell you because you're broken or because you're this or you're too. Oh God, sometimes I think it's too much. I'm too broken. I'm too this. I'm too this and I'm too that. He said, oh, these are the ones that is most grateful to me. These are the ones that I pick up, that I wash off. He said, because no one could have stopped this man that was demon possessed. Legions was upon him. And he was there breaking down in his spirit, crying out for help, and no one see it fit to help him because he himself even convinced himself that he cannot be helped. Others done left him for dead. They throw him inside of the graveyard and say, stay there, cutting himself. They had given up upon him. And he said that level of gratefulness, when I done wash him off and set him free from those chains, he said none could have stopped that man from declaring that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the saving of his of his soul. You guys, I'm not going to make this video short. I'm not going to make this one short. After I done spoke with this man, I was taken to, I want to get correct, the blind man, because the leopard was the last. The blind man. And he began to talk to me. And when I reached him, he began to talk to me. And the first thing that I saw was the darkness that he was in. Right? And he said, I was like in his position, and he said, Francine, he said, I was sitting down there, and I was sitting down there, I was just hearing others talking about this man that is passing by that could heal and that could do all of these great things, right? And he said, I was sitting down there, and he said, I could not see him, but I could hear the commotions. And he said, I began to cry out. I began to cry out, and I knew my voice had to be louder than them, and I began to cry out for help. And he said, he come and he picked me up. And he said, when he picked me up now, he sat out, he did some stuff, and he touched my eyes or whatever, and he told me to go and wash. And it's like, you guys, it's like I could see it. Right? I could see the darkness in his eyes or wherever it is. And when he washed, I could see, like when it's foggy and your belly opening and you're seeing your hands and stuff like that. He said, I began to see light and I began to see all of these things. And he said, oh God. He said, Francine, I began to look around to see who was this man to try and thank him or whatever for what he had done. And oh God. And he said, and the Lord, oh God, and the Lord began to tell me this, and he said, this man was so humble that he did not even want me to see him, to give him a thank you. He was so humble. Some of you all doing the work of the Lord for thanks. I want to hear thank you for what I did for you. And he did not want to hear any thank you. He said he looked around for Christ Jesus to see who was this man who healed my eyes. Because when he thing his eyes, he said he was so humble, he did not even want my thank you. And he began to go around laughing and telling everyone of this. And he said, oh, ain't no one could have stopped me from giving praises to God. He said, oh, I didn't care if they crucified me, if they did whatever it is. He said, because when someone do something that great for you, ain't nobody that is going to stop me from declaring that Jesus Christ is Lord to the saving of his soul. And he said he went out, and the Lord began to tell me now, after I was doing that, he began to say, he said, Francine, these are the ones that I'm using, the ones that ain't no one could shut up, because the gratefulness that they have for me. You see, the thing is, if you never go through anything, you will not know how grateful, oh God, you will not be able to experience the gratefulness of when the Lord washed you off, picked you up, and oh God, and turn your life around and told you who everyone say will never be nothing and will never amount to nothing, told you that you are beautifully and wonderfully created, see fit to love you even though you fall down, oh God, 7 times. He said you will never be able to know. He said there's a different kind of anointing, oh God, when someone goes through some stuff that he can use. He can't use the ones who they never go through nothing, so they don't have empathy with anyone. They don't have empathy with anyone. They never know it is to not eat. They never know it is to not have this, to not have that, to wonder where the next food coming from, to wonder how this going to happen, to wonder to keep on their lights and their water. He said he can never deal up with someone who will never go through it. But he said an individual that have passed through it and know how it feels, he said then he can use those people. Praise your mighty name, El Shaddai God. You guys, like I told you guys, I'm gonna make it. I can split it up in 3, but I'm gonna just make this video. I'm making it. The third person is 3 that I meet. 3 I meet. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I never experienced anything like this. I never experienced it. Oh God. I'm gonna tell you guys why I experienced this too. The third person that I meet was the leopard. The leopard was the third person that I meet, right? So I told you guys I meet the demon-possessed man, and I meet the blind man. And the third person was the leopard, right? And the leopard, when I met the leopard, and I'm happy about it because I've never experienced something like that, but my God. The leopard that I meet, the leopard began, I told you I was like me in their position. The leopard, I began to see the skin of the leopard and the amount of boils that was upon his skin, right? The amount of boils. Holy One, bring it back just like how he gave me today. The amount of boils that was on this leopard skin. And it's like I was looking down at my hand and I was touching my skin and there was so much of boils. And he began to tell me now, he said, Francine, this was the leopard speaking to me. He said, Francine, this thing here had me as one that was despised. He said, people, when they see me with their children, used to hide, used to walk on the other side and was disgusted and said, don't walk too close to this one, they will catch what they have. And he said he used to shroud himself as if he was something that, if they see him, something. He said he used to hide himself, just his little face used to show. And oh God, he said he used to dream about being in the midst of crowd and being able to go certain functions and certain affairs that will happen without being disgusted or rejected or being persecuted for even thinking that he's worthy enough to even come in the midst. And he said, he began to ask the Lord, is it something that I did wrong? Why there are boils upon me, incurable boils upon me, that is causing me now to not be able to go and all of this. So he began to say maybe it's something that he did while he's experiencing this. And he said, but one day, he said, meanwhile in this position, one day I met someone and I heard 2 others or wherever it is, because he said many people were talking about this man, and I heard, and he said he didn't even want to approach this man because he thought he would reject him, just like how everyone reject him or whatever, and he didn't even want to approach him or whatever. And he said this man was so nice and so kind and said, come, and he said, what is thy desire? And he said, I desire that it should be clean. And oh God, he said, go, oh God, and my Redeemer. When he desired that now, he said, on my way, when this man had already told me what to do, he said, on my way to going and do what he did, he said, he looked down and he feel, and he said, it was smooth, and he said he began to feel his face, and it seems like if nothing had never been there. And he said, he went back to tell this man, and he said he dropped to his knees, and when he dropped to his knees, he never, oh God, he said, oh God, the Lord began to tell me, he said no one could have stopped me from giving this man praise, because this man gave me back my life. He said, oh God, and my Redeemer, and the Lord got me, all 3 of them was with me in the spirit, and the Lord began to tell me, he said, listen, Francine, he said, these are the ones that I desire to use, man and woman of God who have been broken, who have been persecuted, who have been lied upon, who go through all kind of stuff, who feel that, I'm not even worthy, that the Lord, because when the Lord desire to put some things upon you, he said, I don't want you to feel unworthy based on the stuff that you pass through and based on the things that people say. Oh God, he said, because I count you worthy, because the gratefulness that is inside of you is why I'm using you. He said, I can't use you. I can't use you if you feel you're worthy. I can't use you if you feel you're better than anything. He said, I can use the ones that go through the hell. I can use those ones that go through the hell, that pass through the fire and through the storm. Because these are the ones, he said, if you never walk through it, how can I, oh God, when I send you out there to the leopard and to the deaf and to the dumb and to the blind, how can I send someone who have never been deaf, dumb, or blind, who have never gone through anything to these individuals to heal them? They will not know to heal them. And he said, these are the ones that I'm looking for. Oh my God, I sat up there and I was like, oh my God. He He said, oh, you're broken, this is what qualifies you. I believe I spoke this in a previous video, you guys. He said, you're broken, this is what qualifies you. All that you pass through is what qualify you. You have a gratefulness now. Oh God, he said, and now I can use that. You have a gratefulness inside of you that can be used by me. You guys, today, the reason why, my son is saying bye-bye, but I'm gonna give you, I can't keep it in. The reason why I was feeling so unworthy and so down, and I was just like, when the Lord was this, you know, I saw in his spirit, you know, he just dressed me in this real nice, different attire and crowned me, and oh my God, you guys. And I began to cry because I began to cry out unworthy. Like, I'm so unworthy, and I began to tell him I'm so unworthy. Don't put down my hand. Don't do this. No, what, you know, when I started to see that, and he said, oh no. He said, no. He said, don't feel unworthy. Listen, he crowned me, you guys. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Something I had never experienced before. Something I had never experienced before. And he said, yeah. He began to tell me that. Oh, I'm gonna stop this video. Look out for a third video, because let me tell you guys, the oil is flowing, right? Look out for a third video. Like I always say, you guys, so the unworthiness, don't feel unworthy. Don't feel like you're too far gone. There's nothing. I believe there's nothing. And I know, matter of fact, there's nothing. Because I've gone through some stuff in my life too. I'm not just speaking these things and I've gone through some stuff. I have gone through some stuff in my life. You guys, when the Lord would desire for me to release my testimony, I'm going to give you all my testimony. But he has not told me to release it yet. But I've gone through some stuff in my life. And I could give you an interpersonal, personal thing to tell you that the Lord can reverse things. He can do things that you're trying to do all by yourself, and in one day he could do it, right? So you guys, like I always say, stay blessed, stay strong. Remember, Yahshua Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, loves you, and I love you. Bye guys. Like my son always say, remember to share, like, and subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you will know when I'm putting out the next video. Check out the other videos too, and remember to subscribe. It really does encourage me, right? So look out for my next video. Bye guys.